next speaker is Darshana Patel.
Good evening, board, as well as staff and members of the public. My name is Darshana Patel, and I, as a member of the Poway Unified School District community, want to let you know that I have 3 kids in the school system, and I have attended this year's LCAP meeting, the community forum, as well as the one in years past, the previous year, and I've participated on this district advisory committee as well. And through all of this experience, I have to say that it's a huge undertaking to put on these LCAP forums. And the way the process went, it went really fast. We were changing around tables, talking to various staff and other members of the community. And getting that report put together must have just been an incredible undertaking, and I do sincerely appreciate that. I enjoyed the conversations and the discussions that we were able to have regarding internet safety and child safety on the internet, as well as school buses and food and nutrition and all the various topics that came up. The point I'd like to bring up is discussions I've had with members of my community regarding AP classes in the high schools. And this is not my opinion since I haven't experienced that. My kids are still in elementary school, and I have a 5th grader who's moving into Mesa Verde this year in the fall. But a lot of members of the community have expressed concerns regarding the number of AP classes that students are taking when they're in high school. And the reason why this is a concern to me is the whole child is a concept that I'm really concerned about. And I was a high achiever in school. I took several AP classes. I had a very high GPA. I know what stress is like. I deal with it well. But the time I grew up in is very different than the time that the kids are growing up in now. And there are lots of outside social pressures that we didn't have to deal with when we were in high school. So when you look at the number of AP classes, I'm hearing things like kids at Westview taking 17 AP classes. And what that means is that they're starting as freshmen. And they're starting out maybe with only one, but they're starting with a couple as freshmen. And that really is a concern to me when you look at the concept of whole child. So you got these kids that are 14 that are now undertaking what we're telling them is a college level class. There's a huge mental difference, emotional difference between a 14-year-old and a 19-year-old taking a college level class. And I would like to know whether the school district is able, whether it's feasible or whether it's even reasonable, to see whether there's any long-term study to see the effectiveness of students who take these AP classes as freshmen, whether they continue on to take the tests, whether those tests they end up scoring well, whether when they score well, the methodical process of do they get their college credits for that, and does that affect them in their long-term career readiness? And then back to circle around to the whole child concept of it. Are they continuing to do well socially in the workplace in the world? And if it turns out great, then wonderful. You know, I support all of it. I support academic pushing. It's great. These kids have an ability to learn. They're excited. From what I've heard, it's not the parents pushing them. They're pushing themselves. So if it looks good, then that's wonderful. But I was wondering whether it's even feasible to do a long-term study to see how it plays out as they move into college and career. And one other point I'd like to bring up, if board member Zane had formed his curriculum committee, as I've emailed him several occasions on, I would have happily joined that committee and applied for it and looked into this detail myself. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Latang and Ms. Ms. Patel. Sorry about that. With that, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Robertson and Ms. Delandi.